Yeah. Yeah.
Look at me.
Benchmark, they're speaking the facts that you wanna hear. That rapper jersey, the vision is clear. Diamonds glisten like a chandelier. You know what I'm here for, like Marshawn Lynch. At clutch time, we do not flinch. Real brothers, we do not switch. Hit home runs with the right pitch. Who run the city? What to do when they hating on you? I feel like Kobe 2010. I taking an L, all I need is a win. Business is business, you know how they go. You playing the seats, now it's time to grow. Tuning now, gotta be in the know. Showtime, bitch, my about to blow.
I ain't seen from now. Miles, you really.
Benchmark podcast. What's up, bro?
We are back for another episode of the Bench Mob ENT, a Thanksgiving special, little bonus content. We dropping an episode right now. Actually, it's coming out at 10 o'clock. It's on. Check it out on streams everywhere. When y'all see this, we're going to drop this at nighttime. So y'all can get 2 episodes in the same day on Thanksgiving. That's how much we thankful to y'all as our supporters, as our people that rock with us. But we got with us my guy, Desmond Purse.
Hey.
Slice, a.k.a. Slice Groove, a.k.a. Man of the Hour, a.k.a. Money Man. In the building tonight. Whoa, it's not even nighttime yet. Y'all see this is going to be nighttime. In the building. How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving to you,
You know, it's that time of the year, so I'm glad to be here. I'm a big fan of the show.
Appreciate it. We appreciate you taking time out on Thanksgiving. Yo, I want to start here, bro. So you went to Hampton.
Yes, sir.
What was your HBCU experience like, and what made you choose Hampton?
Okay, so let's take it back. Ooh, man, I'm gonna get my bag real quick. I ain't had a question like this in a minute. So let's stay back to the spring of 2010. I'm putting in a couple college applications at the time. I think back February. So usually hear back during the springtime, like 2.5 months before graduation. So originally my plan actually was to attend Winston-Salem State. I had a cousin that was in administration. I took a visit and I was happy with how I saw the campus. And so what ends up happening is that I actually got a decline letter from Winston-Salem State. And at that time, I was surprised, but I had Morgan in my back pocket. Morehouse was doing on-the-spot admissions. And I got Hampton and Howard on the same day. So, and my mother went to Howard, right? So I got 1 letter from Howard, but I got 3 letters from Hampton. So that lets you know you got in to one and you didn't get into the other. And when that happened, I remember my cousin calling me and asking me, did I get my acceptance letter from Winston-Salem State? And I said, actually, I didn't get accepted. She made a couple phone calls. Whoopty whoop whoop. Now they calling me like, hey, we apologize. We want you to come to our school. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I already accepted to go to Hampton. And they were like, is there anything we can do? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I mean, we could talk about some scholarship money. You want me to come at this point. At the end of the day, they ended up hanging up the phone. And, I ended up attending Hampton for the pre-college program, summer of 2010. Mm-hmm. And, bro, from there, man, the rest is history. My Hampton University HBCU experience I really feel like it's one in a million. It was a great time of understanding. When you first get to Hampton, a lot of people don't know this. There's a lot of rules and regulations you got to follow, right? One of the biggest ones was a curfew. A lot of people don't know that. So, when you're a freshman in the summer program and then going into the fall right after homecoming, if all the freshmen are doing well, all the dorms are doing well, you have curfew Sunday through Thursday at 10 p.m. and Friday and Saturday was, I believe it was midnight. So once you get past homecoming, if everything was cool, then you get off a curfew. It felt like a breeze. But, at that time, I thought it was whack. Like, oh, these other schools, you going to parties with cats going to NSU or going to like Old Dominion or places like that, and they looking at you like, oh wow, you got a curfew, like that's crazy. And we're kind of like, man, okay, I guess. But looking back on it now, it really saved us because, bro, after 10 o'clock, being that age between 17 and 22 years old, you don't need to be on the streets too late. You know what I'm saying? It's all types of wild things that happen. So I'm kind of grateful for that experience. Same thing with dorm directors, the CAF, the Hampton runaround, the student center parties. Like, I really feel like I did have a different experience compared to other young African Americans that even went to PWIs because their campuses are so big and their groups of their backgrounds are so small. I feel like they didn't get to embrace the whole college experience like I did.
Nah, that's definitely true. I think about it every day, man. I was going to go to Morgan State, but
Okay,
my Dukes ain't want that distance for the kids, so
I hear you.
that ain't happened. But my cousin went to Morgan State. We had him on the show. He said the same thing. The
Okay.
HBCU experience and how everybody is like, it feels they're way more invested in you at these HBCUs. And you mentioned literally 4 different HBCUs. So this was something basically from Jump Street you already knew, like growing up, you was going to HBCU.
Yeah, I think at first when I was considering college, because most people, if your parents want you to go to college, they might go back all the way to like 8th grade, 9th grade, like, okay, name a list of schools you want to go to. And at that time, especially if you were in sports, you name schools like University of Miami, Maryland at the time, because I was going to high school down there. I'm naming schools like Cal Berkeley, like all these type of different places. But then as you get into the real process, I actually was in Naval ROTC when I was in high school all 4 years. So I actually thought I was going to be able to get a naval scholarship. So I applied to the Naval Academy, University of San Diego, Villanova, and Morehouse. So all these schools had ROTC programs at the time. But then once I got to my second semester, my senior year, I decided, like, you know what? I don't think I want to be in the military. So it ended up working out for me that I had these options, and Hampton was that answer. And it's at that time, I'm not gonna say it was the strong reason, but it was something to look forward to. Any of the Hampton alumni you talk to, the ratio of woman to man on campus is 12-1. Now that was 10 years ago. I don't know how it is now. So I'm not gonna lie. At the time, you're like, oh, okay, we'll see. But when you get to campus, you feel like you're seeing the most beautiful women in the world. Like, you saw something new every day. And I'm talking every day for 4 years. I saw a new face. Straight up.
Yeah, that's keeping it real though. That's a big factor when you go on your college campus visits. You look to see what you're looking at.
Yes, sir. For sure.
Will I have fun here? I don't see too many of my sisters here. I don't know about this.
For real though, it's real.
That makes complete sense. We hear from athletes all the time too, like, yo, they had some bad chicks when they go on these visits. Oh, yo, they had the baddest chicks. We visual.
I think for Hampton University, it's one thing to have beautiful women, right? Because it's not just Black women. Like you seeing women from around the world and the islands and things like that. But they have vision and intellect, and that more so too was like something very interesting that you're not seeing on a daily basis. Like, what's your drive? Like, what do you want to do in life? You ask somebody that at that age, like 16, 17, 18 years old, they're like, oh, I don't know. And you're not supposed to know. But when you are around a group of women that know what they want to do and they got a plan of action, that's definitely motivation for you to be around those type of people. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the men too, the Hampton men. We some strong Black men. We don't cheat. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to all the queens and kings out there. Straight facts. Shout out to y'all. So at Hampton, what did you end up choosing to study when you was at Hampton?
Man, so when I first got there, right? It's a funny story. My first major was recreation. So yeah, she said, what is recreation? Like, what is that? And at the time, like, you were studying to like be an instructor on like a cruise ship, and you were gonna show folks around, and it's another type of like experience of they call sports activities, right? So that was my freshman year. Now let me tell you something. As a recreation major, my I went to the pre-college program, like I said. So I took 3 classes. So going into freshman year, I had like a 3.6 GPA, right? Did well in the summer. Man, my freshman year, bro, I had like a math class, a university one-on-one class, a gym class, and swimming, advanced swimming, right? Bro, it used to be times because I only got those 4 classes freshman year, man, I would let's take a Friday. Friday, I would have swimming at like 9 a.m. Go do that for like an hour and 50 minutes, go to the student center, get some Chick-fil-A, go lay it down for a second, get changed, and then what we used to have during the 12 to 2 hour was like activity hour on campus.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knew on Friday between 12 and 2, you're going to find Des in the student center. If you're looking for me, you don't got to call me. You don't got to text me. You know I'm in there with the DJs rocking out. I'm seeing who coming through. I'm seeing who got what going on this weekend, right? But once I got in the second semester, I knew I had to make a change because I said, this is not what my mother and father sent me to school for. This is not what I wanted to go to school for. I'm making it too easy for myself, but I'm going to be here another 6 years if I keep this up. So going into sophomore year, I decided to switch into sports administration. And once I did that, that's when I kind of elevated when it came to what I wanted to do while I was at the university, because what that ended up leading into was by my senior year, I was an intern for the Boo Williams Sportsplex, who has a major sponsorship with Nike and EYBL and AAU. So that's a great facility to check out. Anybody in the 757 area, Hampton Roads, the Boo Williams Sportsplex. A lot of people have gone there if you played AAU or EYBL for basketball and track and field. And then also at the time, Hampton was in the MEAC conference, which is based in Norfolk, and I was an intern there with the championships and compliance for my senior year. And I did that up until graduation. And then once I got to graduation, that's when I kind of got a little lost, because what happened was I didn't know when I graduated what I was going to go do, because I didn't have opportunities right out of the gate. Like I had a job ready. So I decided to stay, and I got my master's in sports administration, intercollegiate sport. And I did that for a year, and I did well, but I was ready to get out of the college life. I did it 4 years, and I did it right. I graduated on time, but I knew I didn't want to be in that setting anymore. So I did an accelerated program. I graduated within a year and a half. Actually a year in the summer. It wasn't even a year and a half. Literally 2 semesters and a summer program. And then I got the internship with CBS in New York in 2015. That's how I ended up back up north to end my college career.
That sounds like a good path, especially being the fact that you challenged yourself after that freshman year. Like, yo, that's not what my parents sent me here for. This is what I gotta do to improve. And speaking again to like what you said, so in that time frame when you 17, 18, a lot of kids don't have that mindset. So shout out to you for having that mindset. A lot of kids would have just been on cruise control, like, I bet. And now they're looking at junior, senior year and like, Dad, what the heck did I do, bro? Like, yeah.
The best advice I can give when it comes to being like around that age, like I say, between 18 and 22, if you don't know what you're gonna do, grind in the meantime. I guarantee you, while you're grinding, you're gonna know what you want to do. Because while I was in school, bro, everybody will tell you I was the guy. My freshman year, I was on campus. By my sophomore year, I was off campus. In my crew of friends, I was the only one off campus. Everybody was in the dorm. I had my apartment, and everybody used to come over to my house and do whatever. By my junior year, I moved a little bit away from campus. I had an apartment with 2 other guys, and I had my first job in Virginia. I was working at Office Depot. I was doing that, grinding out. I remember my dad told me, like, if you want a car, you got to go get a job. I did that for 2 months. I even walked to work and even got pitch rides to campus. He saw my grind. He went out and got me my first car. And I did that. Once I left Office Depot, I ended up at Domino's. Working at Domino's doing the delivery thing, you know, and I used to grind with that. I'm talking, man, I got some crazy stories when it comes to Domino's, bro. I'm gonna keep it simple. Like, so, you know, you in college, and let's say it's Saturday night, right? You're having a party. Not myself, but let's say my friends are having parties, and they know I'm getting off at like 9, 10 o'clock, something like that, right? That's what I used to have them do. It's a secret, so nobody tell. Anybody watching the episode, don't tell the story. So I used to have them order like 3, 4 pies. Okay. And then what happens when it was about to go out for delivery, I tell them, yo, call back. Call back, they would cancel the order. Now they got 4 pies, or like it could be specialty pies, whatever. The chances of me getting one of those pies was like more than 50%. If I got 2 of them, it's a good night, right? So I used to come in when I get off work, clock out, grab the pies, head to the spot, feed the party real quick. We turn out, they got bottles ready. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for, and then if there was times when it wasn't a party, I used to go out into the apartment complex that was right next to the campus. Like I said, you gonna pay it's a $5.99 for a medium pizza, right? And then you ain't even paying tax and the delivery fee and the tip. I said, yo, throw me a smooth 5. I give it to you right now. Used to make money that way too. I was hustling, man. I was getting the job done. Best way possible.
Yo, I worked with you at Hertz. That's all we did.
Yeah, bro.
That's all
early grind.
All we did was hustle over there. So I can imagine you in college. So
yes, sir.
I already knew the vibes with that. Yo, so you at CBS Sports now for our listeners, for everybody that's tapped in. What do you do at CBS Sports, and how have you been able to use your degree with CBS?
So that's a 2-part question. So at CBS, I am a broadcast associate for the graphics department. So I work on several shows a week. So far this season, I've been on. I just did a shift last night for Inside College Basketball. I also on Sundays I do my Tops pregame show. It's called the Other Pregame Show with Adam Sheen and a whole bunch of other guests such as London Fletcher and guys like that. So we do that show. It's 8 to 12, but that I come in at like 4 a.m. I have a meeting at 5. Then we start shooting between 8 and 12. Monday I do a show called Monday QB. That's with some legends like Rich Gannon, Trent Green, Boomer Esiason, and I've done Tiki and Tierney's radio show and Inside College Football as well. So I do different shows depending on the week. My job in graphics is anytime you're looking at a show and you see, for example, like a full screen of somebody's stats, what they did in the season or what they did in a certain game, I'm the one with my operators putting that together to throw on. There's also something called lower thirds where it's like a topic bar that it will pull up different statements, topics, questions, and stats while the commentators are talking. So I've dealt with all these type of things in graphics, right? Which has been a blessing. It was way different than what I've been doing beforehand with CBS. I was doing a lot of grind work, like an edit runner, a logger. I call it like shrimp work, shrimp at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to the sea. But now I think I've elevated a little bit where I've got a little bit more stain and I have more direction of what I want to do with my CBS career than I had before. Mm-hmm. And you asked, the second question you asked was, what did I do with my degree? So everybody listening, I want y'all to know, with what I'm doing right now with CBS, it's not because of my degree. Now I have a sports background. I'm a sports guru. Like I said, I have my undergrad in degree, my bachelor's in sports management, and I have my master's in sports administration. But those degrees did not dictate where I am at now. What got me to where I am was connections. I literally 2015 when I came in, when I was doing my internship, I knew I got to know somebody that gave me the opportunity. And then what I had to do was I did these per diem jobs with CBS, and then I did other jobs in the meantime. Prime example, you and I were working at Hertz together. When I ended up leaving, as soon as I left, I was able to work the football and basketball season with CBS because I was plugged in with somebody. Although I was doing that job to pay the bills full time, it still gave me the opportunity. So my best advice I can give is don't stop meeting people. It doesn't matter at the end of the day what your degree is. You're paying for that piece of paper so that you can get past the point of do you have a degree? Some people may not care what your degree is. It's really about how much knowledge you have. You can literally have a degree in communications or economics, but if you know a lot about the job that they're asking you to do, and somebody can sign off on that, that's how you get in all honesty. So I want my young brothers and sisters to know that. Still striving what you want to do. I say if you have a big interest in something, major in it, but minor in something that you can have a backup plan with. I think that's my only regret going to school. I didn't minor in anything for a fallback plan. So that's like the only advice I want to give. But, everybody keep grinding and keep doing what your path is. You're on the right path. Some people don't have a path. Keep that in mind.
That's great right there. I'm on the same page. Like, I really wish I minored in something like production or film or cinema, especially with everything that I'm doing now. Like, you just dropped knowledge for me. I ain't know what that was called. That be at the bottom of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Did not know that. And I've been asking people. I don't even know why I didn't think to ask you. I've been asking you like, yo, what is that thing called? How can I put that on my show?
Mm-hmm.
What type of, do I got to get a different type of network? Do I got to get a software for it?
Yeah, bro.
Knowledge right there. I'm like,
we gonna tap in. I mean, we're gonna have some more to talk about obviously through the episode, but we're gonna tap in about some more ways with softwares and how you can get things jumping to bring that creativity to the show. Because it's in your mind. I know it is. We've talked about it all the time.
yeah.
So we'll make sure we get that done. Yeah.
For sure. Now transitioning, we got to talk about your Giants. How you feeling about Jason Garrett just getting fired? How you feeling about Danny Doms? I mean, we could go a bevy of ways. We'll start off with the firing of Jason Garrett. Do you think more is coming down the line?
Yes and no. First off, I am very pleased that Jason Garrett has been relieved of his duties. I've known since maybe the second game of the season that he was going to be holding us back with all these weapons we had. Now, injuries also have been a big factor in why the Giants have not had success this season. But his play calling, just like how it was in Dallas, is too predictable. It's too simple. I really feel like that hire was to help Judge because Judge has never had a head coaching experience. And I get it. Garrett has. Garrett has also been a quarterback with the New York Giants. So there was some familiarity there. And they tried it. It didn't work. It's time to move on. I do think Joe Judge's job is safe. I do not think Dave Gettleman's job is safe, right? So with that being said, I think the general manager position next will be an interesting one. I really want somebody like Louis Riddick to take over. I don't know if the Giants GM job is attractive for guys to want to come in. So we're going to see about that. Now, regarding, let me get this last part out, with players, right? This is where I'm at. I was giving Daniel Jones some hope, but he's not it. It's just that simple. I like his build. I like his – I think he's a smart guy. I just think when it comes to being – sometimes, you know what it is? Sometimes New York is a lot for people. When you go somewhere else, a smaller market, the mistakes you make aren't under a microscope. Mm-hmm. And I think with Daniel Jones, I think when he does great, he's getting the praise. But when he does bad, it's twice as bad regarding the feedback he's going to get. Another thing I want to say, everybody always asks me about Saquon. His fifth year is going to be coming up, and should the Giants re-sign him? What should be the case? I mean, I wish Greg was on this part of the segment because I want to see what he had to say about this. I'm actually okay if I think the Giants will give Saquon the fifth year option, like they'll sign off on it, right? I wouldn't mind if you let Saquon walk and you go give a guy like Tony Pollard some money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that guy is a gadget, and you're not going to be paying him as much as Saquon because he wasn't a high draft pick. The one thing I learned about it's not that Saquon is not good. It's that you can't take a running back that high with all the needs that you have for a football team. You know what I'm saying? If the Giants had solidified an offensive line like the Cowboys did a couple of years back, like with Zeke, I think you can go that route. But because you didn't necessarily have the tools for him to be successful in the first place, you got to let him go figure things out on another team. And you really got to build the foundation. I think the Giants forgot to build a foundation. That's why they're trying to figure out why the house is sinking. In all honesty,
that's a Jadakiss line right there. Drop the mic right there.
Yeah, man.
Name you mentioned, Louis Riddick. I feel he should have been had a job, man. I feel like he should have been had a job. I think the thing, like you said, I don't know if it's going to be that attractive of a job for New York, but we'll see what happens. Like you said, of course, I'm gonna post a clip, have Greg comment because Greg is that's a Giants lover, man. He was talking 10-7 at the beginning of this year.
You know what? So I was on my boy Jason podcast, right? Shout out to Jason. And we spoke about the Giants and Jets schedule because he's a Jets fan. And I looked at the schedule and I'm like, I can see us winning 10 games, right? Because think about it. Let's just go over for a couple games. The Giants should have won that Chiefs game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Giants should have won that Atlanta game, which I'm still mad about because I got tickets off the strength to go. I got off of work. That was Eli Manning's retirement ceremony. I was at the game, and I was trying to figure out how we lost. So I was still hurting about that. Okay. And then what the game we played Washington. Was it Washington? There was another game that we should have won. So there's 3 games that we previously played that I really think if we win those games, we're not in the same hot seat. Okay? So I've been hurting. I've been trying to navigate my feelings. Things should go somewhere, but you know what? This is what I'm hopeful for. If we're not going to do well, I'm hoping Chicago don't do well. That's 2 top picks in the draft. Okay? Hey, guys, also, I'm going to let y'all know, parenting, it don't stop. Say hi, Zuri. Hi. It don't stop. You can be on the podcast. You can be working. The parenting. These are my friends. Say hi, Antonio.
Antonio.
Hey.
Hey. How are you?
Hey, how you doing? Say happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey. This is 2 years old for you. Here, go ask mommy for some water. Tell her give me juice. I want juice. Tell mommy I want juice.
Mommy.
Okay? You got to persuade them too, folks. That's the only way to leave you alone.
Transitioning. Thank you again. We got Desmond Purse on the show. Before we go into our With the Quickness segment, talk to me about BearPong Sports. How did it come about? What was the concept behind it? We see the success with it. We see it growing. Talk to me about that and how people can support and follow the page.
Copy. So let's take it back before the pandemic, okay? I had a conversation with one of my closest friends and my partner, Chris Tolbert. Shout out to Chris Tolbert. We grew up together. He was one of those cats when me originally being from New York, and then I moved down to the DMV area. It's one of my first friends, and we were friends before we knew we was friends. Like we used to play football against each other because we went to different elementary schools. But growing up, we knew of each other, and then we ended up going to the same middle school, and we ended up going to different high schools, but we lived down the block from each other. So Chris is a former college athlete. He played football at Central Connecticut State and transferred to Simon Fraser, which is the only Division I school in Canada, I believe, in Vancouver. And then me playing lacrosse at Hampton, us playing, formerly playing sports. We had a conversation like, yo, we should come up with like a sports page. Now, Chris came to me originally with the idea, and I thought about it like, that would kind of be dope if I had the opportunity to show like highlights and topics and let people share their opinions on an Instagram page. And it doesn't have, it's not that it has to be censored, but it doesn't have to have a cap to it, right? So we talk about it on a video shoot of his because he's a manager. And the conversation went well. The pandemic hits. So now everybody's at home. trying to figure out what's next, what they're gonna do. And I know me at the time, working from home or doing whatever I was doing during the pandemic. I was trying to figure out a way. It wasn't that I was looking for some opportunity with money. I was looking for an opportunity to engage, to grow something that can be bigger later down the line. Mm-hmm. So we having conversations over the pandemic, and then before you know it, we decide we're gonna start up BearPong Sports. Now, BearPong Sports is also affiliated with BearPong Media. The concept behind it, this is how I explain it to people. When you hear bear pong, you think of beer pong, right? Mm-hmm. So I look at it like you're going back and forth in conversation, just like you're going back and forth in a beer pong game, and it allows for us to show, the mascot being a bear, like I look at it like a grizzly bear, and so when you having these topics, some people get real passionate, real emotional. Start yelling, screaming, expressing themselves like a grizzly bear. Like you're gonna get your point across. Mm-hmm. And so we started this page via IG. Like I said, we're at BearPong Sports, and how we grew the page was we targeted first a basketball fan base. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to see, like, not just, we weren't thinking small either. Not like just region wise, like because we're in two different places. Like I'm in Jersey, he's in the Atlantic East area, right? So with that being said, right? We knew we had to touch base with a base that was outside of just the United States. So most of our followers, they're gonna come from all around the world. We've got folks that are over in Europe tapping in with us. We got folks in Canada. We got folks in China. We've even had folks reach out in places like India. We didn't go small. So we knew we wanted to get to a certain place when it came to followers and content. So we've done a little bit. Lately it's been slow regarding our progress because we got to a point where we still have full-time jobs. Yeah. So keeping up with it can be tough. But we knew this wasn't for just right now. We want this for years. So once we pick back up with it, we have bigger goals. Like I want to be able to shoot webisodes and documentaries to send to Netflix, and they're looking at it like, oh wow, like we want to pay you guys for this, or we want to shoot our own stuff with our own cameras. Like it's a bigger idea. So I encourage people with anything that you are passionate about. Like I know I'm passionate about sports. I can talk sports all day. I don't get tired of it. I can wake up. I don't even have to watch full-blown cable. I literally can watch ESPN nonstop, NFL Network, and maybe some of my shows. But Bleacher Report on my phone, Twitter, Sleeper app. I do it all. So if you are passionate for it and you're not getting paid to do it, it's for you. Build slow. Don't think about right now. Don't think about making money right now. Think about over time what you want to do, and as long as you have the plan, somebody's going to want to tap in and invest in you. So that's the biggest thing with BearPong. BearPong is our baby. Like I said, we got some more content we need to tap in with. It's been a little slow lately, but we're hoping to pick up soon, man. So it's been dope. So yeah, bro.
That's what's up. Already, we support, we follow.
Yes.
Post it. We'll put all the information on here for y'all to follow too. You seen something that you said just made me think about it. Have you seen King Richard yet?
I have.
Literally what you just said, bro. Literally what you just said. Have the plan. Write it down. Mm-hmm. Somebody gonna invest in you. I'm not gonna go too deep into it because actually, surprise for y'all, me and my wife are doing a review on the movie. So that's some more content that y'all getting. So I ain't gonna give y'all all my viewpoints on it, but check out King Richard, bro.
It's definitely a solid movie. Yeah, go tap in, y'all. Please. Yeah,
that junk couple times sent chills. And I know you get it because when you grind it and you got your own business, you got your own dreams, your own vision, and you keep hearing no, but you gotta keep going. It hit different. I mean, I was telling my wife though, like sidebar, Will Smith really be doing the thing, and I'm like, I don't know why we thought for 1 second that his marriage was good. He's a great actor.
never thought about it like that. I mean, hey, you know what? He knew like I think after a while, with your family, you have a certain setup of, you know, how you and your wife have your relationship, how you and your kids and your wife, how y'all mesh. But their lives are on the front page like all the time. Like, where's their privacy? And so that allows me to know with my success, like, I want to be successful. I don't want to be famous though.
Yep.
I used to think I want to be famous because I like when people know me and I know a lot of people. I'm cool with being on the backside, being connected and still having my privacy because, man, because now we about to go into a whole nother topic. Like, let's talk about it. I mean, let's talk about it, but a factor is mental health. At what point does it take over and allow you, it throws you off from your original plan or how you thought things were going to be? Like, that's very important that you protect your mental health so that it doesn't deter you away from what you want to do. Because we're seeing that a lot, especially with Black men and women. Like, we have to be more conscious than any other race for a fact.
You one of the things that always come to mind with the transition, they kids and everything, like I can't even imagine, you know, what that is, like you said, on the mental health of having to basically hear every week something with your mom and your pop, something going on. Y'all on the front news, everybody got their own opinions and things like that. And it goes to even the sports aspect. Like you said, playing in New York, your mental health has to be in check. Your mental
man,
has to be good.
And I think about it like, let's just go back to the 80s. That makes it the most simple. Back then, you can literally go play ball. Let's say you have a rough game. If you don't throw on TV, if you're not reading a newspaper, you really not going to know how much people have to say about you, and you can bounce back and have a great game like we've seen some greats do in the past. These guys today, man, like, I really do appreciate somebody like Calvin Ridley. He's got it all. He's a star receiver. He's got the skills, but he still decided, like, you know what, I'm not right. And we don't know how much he has to take care on the back end. I'm sure he's taking care of his family and families, and that takes a big toll on yourself and not allow you to be you. So I'm all for getting yourself right, taking a breather, not trying to please everybody. Because at the end of the day, who gonna please you but you? Nobody's gonna please you like you gonna please you. Nobody. Yes, we have partners and wives and things like that, but just like they got to take care of themselves, we got to take care of ourselves. And once we take care of ourselves, we can take care of others.
Facts right there. If you're not taking care of you, you can't take care of nobody else. So make sure you in check, and then you can help out the world. But you got to make sure you in check first, because we seen this on Instagram, and we'll transition. If you are warming the whole world up with your fire and your love, you're going to be cold by the end of the night because you ain't got nothing left for you. Straight like that.
Giving everything out. That's right.
Transitioning to With the Quickness segment. It's basically some rapid fire, this or that questions, whatever comes to your head first. Of course, it's Thanksgiving, so we got to start with some Thanksgiving ones. Are we going with baked turkey or deep fried turkey?
Oh, it's a good question. I really want to try a deep fried turkey. I haven't done it yet. I didn't get to do it this year, but next year I'm going to plan to do a deep fried turkey. So I'm going with deep fried turkey as my answer. Sweet
potato pie or pumpkin pie?
Oh, pumpkin pie. What? What kind of question is that? You better give me that sweet potato pie. Ask me no question like that.
We going with Denver mellow or nugget or New York mellow?
Man, you gonna ask me a question like that. But you know what though? I remember when I was a kid, the mellow that I fell in love with as a basketball player is Denver mellow. I love Nick Mello, but it's like when I see him, those highlights, it makes me feel like a kid again.
Denver mellow, especially as a Lakers fan, that boy had me nervous, bro. That series with Colt, I thought they was gonna win that. They showed,
bro.
Denver mellow.
Sidebar: he should have been a Piston, but that's another conversation for another day.
If he was a Piston, we talk about his career completely different.
Yes, sir.
Completely, but he gonna get it. I was gonna say he gonna get it shipped this year, but I'm not that confident about Lakers. They
I don't
not.
know at this point. I'm hoping though. I
I'm
want it to
hoping
happen
too.
too.
I want Melo to get a ring, but as a Lakers fan, I'm gonna keep it a stack. They got a long way to go.
They do.
Y'all see it in the episode today that's out right now. I talk about Bron. Yes, Bron is that guy. But Bron at this point should not have to do that every single night. So that's not a good thing.
That's right. That's right.
That's not a good thing. All right. So then we got Melo question out the way. What's your go-to meal?
Oh. I've transitioned. So I used to be like a real pizza guy. New York pizza, boom, keep it going. Now understanding like being an older man and you gotta eat better, like I need some type of like chicken, rice, veggies, fajitas type of thing. So like if I can grab like some Qdoba or something like that, that's probably like the best go-to meal to get right. And matter of fact, I'm gonna say it right here on the podcast. Qdoba's better than Chipotle. I used to think the other way around, but Qdoba's better than Chipotle. So we're gonna keep it that simple.
We on board with that one. Sure. We on board with that one. All right. So you worked at Domino's. Domino's or Papa John's pizza?
Oh, I'm still gonna go with Domino's. Papa John's, like I did like the taste at one point, but Domino's diversity, their prices, their rewards program is lit for your boy. I don't know how many free pizzas I've gotten, so I'm going with Domino's.
Domino's, gotcha. All right. So give me your NFL MVP this year.
NFL MVP. Now this transitions. I used to think it was one person. Now with the way it's been going, man, I think I'm gonna have to give it to. I'm gonna say Kyler. Yeah, he's missed these last 3 games, but what happens is the fact that this team believes in him, and because they do, they still have not missed a beat when it comes to still winning games, playing together. When he comes back, he gonna be on one. DeAndre Hopkins gonna be on one. I'm gonna give it to Kyler. At one point, I was thinking like, it could be somebody like Stafford. It could be somebody like I was hoping for like if the Cowboys gonna have a strong season and Dak to come back, that would have been great. But I'm gonna give it to Kyler.
Couple more before we get you out of here. Who's coming out the NFC?
If the Cowboys lose today, it's gonna be Philly.
Ooh.
You gotta see their schedule, bro. It's sweet.
Jalen Hurts been playing as good as of late too.
You know what I'm saying? They finally found the run game. They defense bend, don't break. Don't be surprised.
They run game been great.
Last 3 games.
Last 3 games, like 200 plus yards rushing, 3 straight games. And the crazy thing with Philly, stat to throw out here, they've had 200 rushing yards, 3 straight games with not one running back having 100 yards. This is by committee.
That's right. It's by committee. That's right.
Running down your throat.
Yeah.
They going crazy, Philly. And we posted it on IG because I'm like, if Dallas don't pick it up, Philly looking like, yo, what's up?
So I say, bro, if Dallas don't get this win today, everything they got going on, it's gonna be bad. So watch out for Philly.
AFC. Who's coming out the AFC? You think the Chiefs gonna get it together, be back in the Super Bowl? Who's coming out of the AFC?
It was looking like Tennessee at one point. They got a whole lot going. They looking like frauds. This is the dark horse. I don't think it's a dark horse, but I love him as a quarterback. I'm gonna give it to the Chargers. Justin Herbert, I wish he was my QB. He's on one. Austin Eckler has found his swag again. I like the guys they got on defense, bro. I'm picking the Chargers to go out the AFC, man. Like, I still don't think the Colts got enough. I think they've had some cool games, but overall, they're gonna lose some. Baltimore, they finding ways to win, but this is what the problem is with Baltimore. You see this now. All it takes is to get to the playoffs and lose a game. It's over. I think the Chargers can run the table.
Transition to basketball. Who you got? Super early prediction. Who you got coming out the East?
I got two teams.
Okay.
I gotta say the Knicks. I don't got a choice. But the team that I really like this year, that I'm not surprised at their success, I like Chicago. I'm loving Chicago.
I think between like Chicago and Washington has been off to a good start.
Yeah.
Chicago is built to sustain that. Washington, on the other hand, I think they'll be back at the bottom of the barrel, like as usual. They might end up being a playing team. I
Yeah.
don't see it going all the way through. Two more before we get you out of here. Who's coming out of the West?
I'm going with the Warriors. They getting
Yeah.
Clay back. The boy Jordan Poole to hit another step. I'm going with the Warriors. At first, I'm like, oh, Lakers. Yeah, they got Melo. Yeah, I'm with it. Okay, cool. Nah, I'm going back to the Bay. Yeah.
Yo, I'm watching this. I'm like, Golden State. This is without Clay. And I think, too, they're going to use Wiseman and get another piece. And that's going to be scary because Wiseman don't fit with this. They're going to get Wiseman back healthy, play him a couple games, and if they get another, it don't even got to be a star, get another nice, solid piece.
Mm-hmm.
Steph, Clay, Draymond back on the top of the mountain. Y'all already heard Draymond. He said, don't let us win a championship. You ain't going to hear the end of it. Draymond got his own podcast now, too. It's going to go. Y'all ain't going to hear the end of that.
That's a fact.
Last one. 5 people, dead or alive, you'd like to have a meal with.
Okay. Ooh. All right. I gotta sit down with Hov. I got to. Another person I want to sit down and tap in with, Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban at the age of 27, he had like 26 cents in his bank account. I ain't even 30 yet. I'm trying to tap in for real. You know what I'm saying? Who's somebody else? I want to sit down with let me do something interesting. I want to sit down with man, you threw me off. I ain't gonna lie. I think somebody else influential, basketball player or football player. No, let me not do sports, man. We're always doing sports. Let's do something a little bit more like a guy like I want a CEO. And not just of a company, like even like music, for example. So like a CEO, like I want, you know what? I want to tap in with them boys down south, like Coach and P, QC Records.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tap in with them, because, you know, to really see like how you get it out the mud, like what is it that you had to do, type of thing. I'm all about motivation. I'm all about how you get something out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Another 2 people. I got 2 people left. Let me think. I would love to sit down with a woman like Aaliyah. Rest in peace. Beautiful soul, simple. You know, really just tap in with you know what were her goals in life, because she was a beautiful person, even at a young age, bro. When she died, bro, we was like elementary school, you know what I'm saying? And that was one of them deaths. I remember a lot of young girls I was going to school with, they were heartbroken, and she was a real influence. So that's somebody. And then my 5th person, oh, I know exactly who. DMX. He's probably one of the realest people on earth, regardless of his mistakes. He was gonna keep it real. I can appreciate that. And I've always been an X fan. You know, we both from the 914, Westchester County. So like, I would love to just tap in and see what kind of gems he would give, to be the best person you could be, even through your struggles.
Yo, it's a whole lot of money at that table, a whole lot of wisdom at that table.
Mm-hmm.
You just make sure that you got the deep fried turkey there.
Yeah, man. I really want that. You don't understand. Like, I gotta try it. I got to.
Facts, bro. But Yo, you already know the vibes, man. If you stay ready, you don't gotta get ready.
Hey,
Bench Mob, ENT, we out. Peace.
say less.